When you play in Minecraft, there's a lot of small annoyances that can happen. Stuff like your hunger running out too fast, it being nighttime too fast, a creeper blowing up your stuff, lots of stuff. When these things happen, you ever just think to yourself, man, I wish there could be more of these annoyances? Yeah, you definitely don't think that, but I thought it'd be funny to gather a bunch of mods together to just add a bunch of annoyances and make the game really annoying for no real reason. But I've gathered up 11 different mods that I think just add a bunch of small or sometimes even big annoyances to the game. So the first mod I'm going to add for this is Tough as Nails. In the base game, hunger could be pretty annoying, so this mod adds in 2 more systems just like that you have to deal with. These systems being a thirst bar and a temperature meter. So now on top of food, you also have to carry around water bottles with you. And you can't just get water from anywhere, because sometimes it'll come out as dirty and it can make you sick. And you can't stack normal water bottles, so you have to make canteens to put the water in, or you have to make fruit juice with purified water to make from a purifier. And that's just the thirst bar. You also have to worry about the temperature meter. Now you can't stay in hot biomes or cold biomes too long, because you'll start to freeze or burn to death. The mod does have some armor sets to help try and prevent this, like the wool armor that helps you keep warm, and the leaf armor that helps you keep cool. The only problem with these armor sets is that they're absolute trash. Each piece of both of these sets only gives 1 armor or half an armor bar. So when you're in the nether hunting down blazes at the nether fortress, you can have fun doing that with your 2 armor bars you get from that leaf set. The next mod I'm going to add to this is Serene Seasons. Serene Seasons, as the name would suggest, adds in, well, seasons to the game. These seasons work just like in real life, where it's warm in the summer, it's cool in the fall, and the leaves turn color. It's cold in the winter, and it's warm in the spring. This makes for some cool gameplay, but the main reason I'm adding this is because of what it does to crops. When it gets to colder seasons, crops will grow a lot slower, and in the wintertime they won't grow at all. It's nice in Minecraft being able to just grow your crops whenever you need to. Adding in this makes growing crops a lot more realistic. But when you're used to how it works in the normal game, it becomes a pretty big annoyance. And in the winter, everything just sucks. Everything gets covered in snow, all the water you have freezes, and the environment just looks different. Everything just looks so dead, which is, how winter works in real life. The next mod we're going to add in here is Born in Chaos. This is another very cool mod, but it does definitely get annoying at times. This mod basically adds in a ton of new hostile mobs. Hostile mobs in the base game are already annoying to deal with, so add like 30 more and you can see how it can get annoying. These mobs can have a lot of health, be really fast, or do a lot of damage. There are original mobs it adds, and also adds a lot of variants of existing mobs. This does also add a few new sets of armor and weapons and tools, as well as some new magic type items, which I guess you could make an argument to say that actually makes the game easier and less annoying. But I would still say overall that it will make the game just more annoying. So the next mod we're going to add is called Improved Mobs. You've probably noticed throughout this video there's been a difficulty number in the top left corner. Well, this is the mod that adds that in. In the base game, the more you play, the game just gets easier. And you get to a point where you have all max netherite armor and mobs don't become a threat in the slightest anymore. Well, this mod will change that, so the mobs will scale with you as you get stronger. While you're playing, that number will just keep going up and up. And mobs will slowly start spawning with more armor and weapons. Normally, once you get to the stage where you have all max netherite, you become just completely unkillable, but this mod makes sure that that doesn't happen. Just to add in the extra annoyance to know you're always in danger no matter how strong you actually get. And trust me, these mobs will get very strong. And in a similar theme to the last mod, this next mod is just called Harder Mobs. The last mod made it harder to fight as you go along, but this mod just makes them hard to fight by default. Mobs will have twice as much health and do twice as much damage normally. So this mod paired with the last mod is really great to make it harder and more annoying. You can also configure this, so technically you can make the game way easier for yourself if you wanted to do that too, but for the sake of this, just don't do that. We have one more mod that fits into the same vein as those last two, and that's Harder Farther. This mod makes it so the farther out from the world spawn that you are, the harder mobs will get. And it will have similar effects to the Improved Mobs mod. If you combine all 3 of these mobs, you can really make the game tough on you. The next mod we're going to add in is the Cave Dweller. Now this is meant to be one of them spooky mods. And while it definitely do be spooky, that's not why we're adding it. There's a theme with a lot of these horror elements in games or mods or whatever. And that's that as you play, they stop becoming scary and just become more of an annoyance. And that is exactly what we're going for with this. He may spook you the first few times, but after that you're really just going to start to hate him. This guy, no matter what, never lets you mine in peace. It doesn't matter if you're in a cave or just in a regular strip mine, he pretty much can spawn anywhere underground. Then do his little goofy run animation while he screams at you. And in a similar boat to the last mod, we're going to add the Man from the Fog. Another one of them pretty spooky mods, but it also suffers from the same exact problem as the Cave Dweller. Even though it becomes spooky at first, as you play, it just becomes more annoying. But again, the whole point of this video is making Minecraft annoying, so that is perfect. The Man from the Fog is essentially a surface version of the Cave Dweller. He can spawn at pretty much any time, and if you look at him at all, he'll run after you. And he's not like a normal mob where you can just shut yourself in and be safe. He can break down both regular and iron doors, and he can also break through glass. The only way to stop him is pretty much to just shut yourself in completely with all just solid blocks and no doors or windows whatsoever. And if you do, eventually he'll just go away. The next mod we have is a very simple mod, and it's just called Harder Torches. This mod will just make it so torches will burn out after a long time, and you'll have to relight them with a flint and steel if you want them back. Another mod like the Seasons one or Tough as Nails that just makes the game more realistic. And it makes you realize how unrealistic Minecraft is, because adding any of these small realistic elements just makes the game way more annoying. Might also make you realize how annoying real life is sometimes. Alright, so we got 2 more mods left, and this next one is Danger Close. This is another one of those adding some kind of realism to the game. Wow, adding literally any kind of realism to the game just makes it worse, doesn't it? Yeah, anyway, this mod basically makes it so torches and stone cutters will deal damage to you. It is kind of weird that you can just place a burning hot torch right next to you and not feel anything from it. Or stand on what is quite literally just a saw blade and be absolutely fine. So I thought this mod would be good to add, especially the torch thing, because that'll just make strip mining even worse than it actually is. So the final mod I'm going to add to this is Harder Ender Eyes Plus. This might actually just be the most annoying one on the list, I'm genuinely telling you. And this mod only has like 100 downloads on CurseForge, so I don't even know how I found this, but I'm very happy I did. Getting to the end in the regular game can be pretty dang easy. All you need to do is just get a blaze powder and some ender pearls and you can go. Easy enough to the point where people have basically beaten the game in like 7 minutes or something like that. So this mod just makes Eyes of Ender like way harder to make. So now instead of the usual ender pearl and blaze powder, you now need a torch flower seed, you know, the things that you get from the sniffer. You also need a prismarine shard, so you also have to go to an ocean monument if you want to beat the game. But perhaps the biggest annoyance of this entire recipe is that you also need an echo shard. So now instead of just having to find a fortress and some endermen to beat the game, you now have to find a sniffer, an ocean monument, and an ancient city. You can actually say this mod is good because it forces you to do a lot of things that you otherwise wouldn't really have to do if you want to actually beat the game. But it also makes it really annoying because I do like to get an elytra pretty quick when I start a world, and this would make it really hard. Okay, so I actually have one more bonus thing I'm going to do. This one is not a mod at all, it's actually just a regular vanilla feature. We're just going to turn off the natural regen game rule. So in Minecraft normally you just have to eat to heal, but not with this on. With this, the only way you can heal is through stuff like golden apples or regeneration potions. Okay, so that is all the mods and stuff that I have for this video. If you want to download all these mods and try them out for yourself, I left a link to all of them in the description below. And while you're down there, why not subscribe? I make modded Minecraft content regularly just like this if you would like to see that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys when I upload next. Goodbye.